The history of the Stonewall Inn, which was a turning point in the LGBTQ plus civil rights movement. Originally, the Stonewall Inn's building was a pair of two-story stable houses that were built in 1843 and 1846 at what is now 51 through 53 Christopher Street, Greenwich Village, New York City. Over the years, the buildings were changed many times. In 1930, the two were joined to form Bonnie's Stonewall Restaurant, and by the 1950s, it became the Stonewall Inn Restaurant. More renovations began in 1966, and it reopened the next year as the Stonewall Inn, a bar and dance club for the gay community. Police raids were common at gay clubs, and patrons were routinely harassed and arrested for being there, for what they wore, and for not carrying identification. Early in the morning of June 28, 1969, New York City police officers again raided the Stonewall Inn, arresting 13 people, but not without resistance from those in the crowd. The group at the Stonewall Inn that night represented a diverse cross-section of people, those who were gay, lesbian, transgender, drag queens, people of different colors and religions, teenage street kids, business people, and others. The term transgender was not used as widely in the 1960s as it is today, but transgender individuals were instrumental in the uprising, with some historians saying that trans women of color led it. News of the first night of resistance spread, and more protests and unrest followed. Because not everyone had the same view from the crowd, people there that night have told different accounts of how it all began. Our view of history can depend on where you were standing. The American gay rights movement, now known as the LGBTQ plus rights movement, took a giant step forward that night through the collective efforts of the diverse crowd gathered at the Stonewall Inn. On June 23, 1992, a sculpture celebrating the Stonewall Uprising was unveiled across from the Stonewall Inn at Christopher Park. American artist George Segal created the work entitled Gay Liberation. In March 2000, the Stonewall Inn was named a National Historic Landmark, and in 2016, President Barack Obama designated the inn and part of the surrounding neighborhood as the first national monument honoring the LGBTQ plus community.